Now, what you need to do is monitor your sales. Depending on your traffic, you may do this daily, weekly, or monthly. It is up to you. Depends on how interested you are in it. I personally look at it every day, but then, you know, I enjoy seeing the success that I'm having. So, you go into the Amazon Associates control panel, and you monitor it in there. And that will show you what's going on, what sales you're making, and so on. Now, it's not the best, I will admit that, but it works. It shows you some of the basic information. The downside is it's only updated once a day. Amazon.com doesn't seem to update at the same time every day. At the beginning of the month, it seems to update about midnight Pacific Standard Time. But as the month progresses, that gets later and later and later. I have no idea why. Absolutely no idea why. But it seems to be sometime between sort of midnight and about 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, it does its update. So, you know, you can only go in once a day anyway. If you go in more often, you're not going to see a change in your figures. So the reason to do that is for you to check your conversion rates, and see what's happening. If you suddenly find that, you know, you've got a site selling Lego, for example, and you find that you haven't sold any for a couple of weeks, or, you know, a couple of days or whatever, and you think, well, that's odd, I normally sell a lot of them. Go and check the site. Maybe the site's been hacked, maybe the rankings have dropped, whatever. So, you know, you monitor your sales, so you keep an eye on your sites and see what they're doing and what sales they are making. So Amazon do provide you a way to use tracking IDs. It's not brilliant, but it will help you. So, you know, I'd recommend use the tracking IDs on your sites. Now, what you can expect is towards sort of middle of October, you can expect to see sales volumes really going through the roof. November, it goes up an awful lot. In December, it just goes completely crazy because of Thanksgiving and Christmas, of course. So, you know, that's a good time. So what I tend to do is I spend most of my year getting ready for Christmas, getting all my sites up, making sure they're all ranking, so that come November time, I can have a massive payday. And, you know, you can make easily a lot of money, you know, 5 figures from just a few sites. You know, as I said, one of my sites selling a product with $2 commission made $500 in December alone. So there's massive potential there. So what you can also expect is in January and August, your sales volumes drop. In January, everyone's dealing with the debt of Christmas and getting over the whole Christmas thing. And in August, traditionally, people are on holiday. So don't panic if in those months you suddenly see your figures go down. But don't think that your November and December figures are going to be normal and going to be average. So, you know, you've got to be prepared that sort of November, December will give you a bumper payday. And that's got to compensate for lower sales in January and August. Now, you can monitor your site traffic through something like AW Stats or Google Analytics. That will show you how many people you come to your site, what keywords they're using, and so on and so forth. What I would recommend is keep an eye on the keywords people are using to find your site. You can often find some very good keywords there. And when you're looking at what products you're selling, have a look at the ones that you don't have sites on, because again, quite often you can find some good ones there that are well worth your while promoting. Now, obviously, one thing you want to do is improve your conversions. Now, this is going to require a bit of work on your side, but it can be worth it through the increased products. You're going to have to do some testing and work on it and make it happen. So the basis behind this is finding out what will make you more sales, what will make more people come into your website, click on your link and buy. And that's very important. So what you need to do is basically test different parts of your website and track the results. So you would change all different components and see whether that improves your conversions or make it worse. If it makes it worse, you undo it. If it improves it, you keep it. Very simple. So one thing that you could test is you're using, say, pictures of the products. Could you write on it something like, say, 50% on Amazon.com, or click here for big savings, or something like that. Test different wording. See which gets the most people to click through. You know, big savings here today, or save on retail price, etc. All of that is entirely possible. One thing you could test is maybe in one of your sidebars, put some Amazon widgets in there. You know, put a carousel widget or something like that. Test it, see whether that helps. Do people find something they're looking for in there and click through? You know, you're going to have to mess around and find what works and what doesn't. Test even different styles of review, different placement of the graphics within the reviews. Silly things like that can often make a huge difference. So, you know, you've got to test it, but it's worthwhile because you could go from, you know, if you've got a conversion rate of 1% and you improve the conversion rate to 2%, you've just doubled your profits. You know, if I take it from 5 to 10%, I've doubled my profits. If I take it from 1% to 5%, that's 500 times, 5 times more profits. It's huge potential here. So test putting banners on there, test other images, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, test different things to see what works. The more you can test, the more you can change, then the more you can increase your conversion rates. And you will get to a stage where you find that it's not going to get any higher, in which case that's fine. Just monitor the site and make sure it doesn't drop. Now, the way you do this is don't go into your site, change lots and lots of things, and then go, I wonder what worked. Change one thing and one thing only. Let yourself get somewhere between 100 and 500 visitors. Check your conversion rate. If it's gone up, keep the change. If it hasn't, get rid of the change. Then change something else. It's slow work, I will admit. You've got to do it one change at a time. But it is worthwhile doing because you'll know exactly what increases your conversions. And once you've done this on one website, you'll have a pretty good idea what's going to increase your conversions on other websites too. So you don't have to go into as much depth on every single site. But, you know, you may want to tweak things on different sites depending upon the niches. So, you know, do some work on improving your conversions because it means more money in your pocket, which of course is a fantastic thing.